Hey. Well, there we go. That's the right one. I got silly and didn't unpause the music. LOL, my bad. I got water though. Alright, let's get all up nice close to the microphone. Let's listen to this water. Ooh, that's nice. Anyway. To the cat like that, she started chirping away. Do you like water? I like water. Water's healthy. Y'all should really drink water. Today we got the classic black raspberry. Animation stream number 12. Like, actually, how are we not bored yet? Like, I'm gonna be animating either way, so whether it's on stream or not makes zero difference to me. But, like, how are y'all not bored? That's my question. Alright, let me find a playlist for today. How's this one? Nah, not that one. Where is it? There we go. Let's go for a little bit of Logica. How does that sound? Now, why is it down there? Is that... Why is it just chilling out in the corner down there? What? No, don't select the music. There we go. I don't know, shrink it, throw it behind everything. Okay, there we go. Boop. Alrighty. There, y'all should be able to hear that pretty good. Alrighty. Womp, there we go. I forgot There's little things I do in the stream that I forget I do. One of which having the angel and devil on my shoulder. Forgot about that one. Once again, in the poll, y'all wanted animation, so here we go, more animation. Back to work. But I'm sorry, that sucked. And I did finish this one part off stream. For some reason, okay, so I actually exported it like as a video, cause I'm like putting the song together as I go. Her knees got so messed up, and I couldn't tell you what happened, and I'm scared to go back and rewatch it, cause I'm scared that her knees are gonna be messed up if I rewatch it, when they were not before. I'm afraid. No, okay, her knees are... Because it was that last step where her leg, like, flew off and literally went entirely off stage. And I couldn't really tell you what happened there, but it was like that when I saved it, like, as a video file. To, like, actually put it in the whole song. And I was really scared to go back. But it seems fine, so... Not really sure what to do about that. I'll figure it out later. Captain Crunch strikes back. I was messing around with Infinite Craft a little bit. Only like an hour, but I found some crazy stuff. No first discoveries though, I don't think. I don't think I actually played long enough. Hello to everyone. I don't actually think I said hello on mic. I typed it in chat, but I haven't like verbally said hello yet. got SpongeBob SquarePants. Okay, I want to cut it off here, so I'm gonna... Why? Can I not split more than one audio at once? That's dumb. That seems really counterintuitive, but okay. Is there not a keyboard shortcut for that either? Man. Alright. You know what? I should just be glad that it opened. Like how creative these scenes are named. Scene 1, Scene 2, Scene 3, Scene 4. My personal favorite, Scene 5. I might turn the music down just a little bit. There we go. Spawn and everything and just overlap. That's what I was doing! Literally, I was just grabbing a bunch of random stuff and putting it over itself. Until it got to the point where I, like, couldn't overlap anymore. Oh, this next part is gonna be fun because there's actually a character that's not Aaron that shows up. My goodness, something new. It's not Aaron or Scamper, my heavens. We finally get to see Nicole on a stream. Okay, how much? Okay. Okay, dark blue. Okay, that's why those are two different shades of blue. Okay. I might actually... make it the lighter shade of blue because, don't forget, she is in a spotlight at the end of this one. So if we just randomly shoot to a scene where it's like the same dark blue, not really anything different, I feel like that would just kind of be a bit jarring. So at least having a lighter shade of blue, I think, would be smart. It's a really easy thing to switch back. In the event it ends up looking stupid. I'm just writing something down real quick. Alrighty. So let me grab Aaron and Nicole, actually, and put them both into the scene. Here's Nicole. And... let's find... Aaron! There she is. There we go. Name that layer Aaron. How fitting the song we got going on in the background now is one Aaron sings. Alright, let's copy layer, paste layer, get rid of the walk cycle because we're not using it. Same layer in here. Okay, what I want to have her do is like, she's not facing the camera at first, and then she does one of those little spins. And again, I'm acting it out because I know y'all can see what I'm doing. This is where that's gonna be. This is where it ends. So let's put a thing there. Doing like one of those little snazzy poses. Can y'all tell she's a theater kid? She's all happy and excited. She's having a great time. Y'all want to know something funny about the song? Would y'all believe she's just singing it in, like, the middle of a bathroom stall? Furthermore, would y'all believe that actually has a level of plot relevance? Trust, it'll make sense. It'll make sense. You gotta believe me. I think I'm gonna zoom in a little bit closer. There's just a lot of empty space that I don't really have much need to do anything with, so. That looks good. There we... I don't know, her shoulder looks a little bit... It works enough. I know y'all gonna get real tired of me saying that, but it works enough. Trying to think how I'm gonna do this. What do I have to work with? I think I'm gonna end up... I'm gonna work backwards from this. For some reason, I just feel like that'd be easier. Just working on general placement right now. Nothing too set in stone. Oh, it's gonna be a nightmare trying to figure out what to do with her ponytail. That's gonna suck so bad. How much distortion can I get away with on this part? Okay. If it's like 1 or 2 frames, it probably doesn't matter as much as I think it does. I hope. A lot of wishful thinking going on, but you know what? flip that around. I don't know, just because I can. That looks horrendous. See if I can, like, smooth it out a little bit. This looks horrifying. I don't like anything about the way this looks. Okay, there's gonna be not a lot of room, but also it feels like there's too much space for the small amount of movement that's happening. That's a really weird spot I've gotten myself into. Where there's simultaneously too much room, but also not enough room. I think I can get away with... That probably isn't too messed up looking. And then if I add some more movement with everything else, I can hope that'll just blend. Autosave wouldn't close my window. That's ridiculous. How dare. I think I'm gonna just hope that it looks... I can make it work. Oh, that's funny because that's the song. That's that's a lyric in the song, so it's funny. It wasn't funny. This probably won't look too weird, right? Can I cheat just a little bit and have it look good enough? How far can I push it? Ooh, that... Actually, you know what? It's not like the worst thing I've ever made. just gonna give her a little bit of an extra bounce at the end because it feels a little bit mechanical right now. So just gonna add like, I mean, barely noticeable, just like the tiniest itty bitty bit of bounce. Like, you can barely even see there's much of a difference. Yeah, it's not terrible. I don't hate it. Okay, gotta think about what I'm gonna have to do with her hair. Think I can sort of like, maybe. That looks strange. It looks less strange. I may just have to break it up a little bit. You got Patrick. Is this the Krusty Krab? Ooh, that looks a little bit better. It's not necessarily good, but it's better. It just feels a little bit extreme. Opinion on MHA fans? Never actually, like, interacted with any of them. It's the same as any fandom where there's, like, the regular, I enjoy this people, and then there's people that have to make it weird. Every fandom is that way. It just so happens that for some, it's more prominent than others. Like, I'm the type that is of the opinion that it doesn't really matter, like, what kind of stuff you enjoy, because me, as an outsider, I can't know your reasoning behind why you enjoy it. So, like, as long as it's not affecting the way you treat people in a bad way, it doesn't affect me. So, like, why would I care, you know? Like, it doesn't really matter. I mean, there's stuff where it's, like, obviously, like, there's things you just kind of gotta raise a brow at every once in a while. There's some things where it's like, oh yeah, I enjoy this, and it's kind of like, oh, do you? But, like, as far as, like, most fandoms go, my general rule of thumb is every fandom has a bad side. That's just how it works. And I know someday Technologic is going to be that way. I don't think it is yet, but at some point it will be. But, like, that doesn't reflect on me or the other people that enjoy it, so... I think I know what I'm going to do with her hair. How did I do this? I remember how I did it. Which ease do I use? It depends on what I'm doing. I'm gonna come clean. Sometimes I do use back out. Or back in, depending on what it is. Like for this one, I have back out. For this, I have just the default. For this one, I have quart. It just depends on what it is I'm doing. How am I gonna do this part? Send to back. Is that gonna be ugly? It looks fine to me. Win. Ooh, might nail it. Might nail it. Ooh, y'all see that? I mean, is it perfect? No. But is it bad? Not bad enough to need to redo it. Like, if you only have like a frame or two of this, whatever's going on here, it's not long enough for you to be able to see that it looks jank. You made Squidward. Nice. Alright, let's... And she's gonna have to turn around. No, she's not. Because, just because in my notes I have that Nicole comes in from the right side doesn't mean it has to stay that way. She can come in from the left. And not only is it easier, but she's already done a little spin in this part, so I feel like it would also just look a bit strange if she immediately, like if she stopped for like 2 seconds and then spun the other way, because then it's like, well, then why didn't you just go all the way around, you know? Okay, am I allowed to just redo one of the exact same shots from the theme song? Yeah, but, I mean, it's not the end of the world. Don't think about it too hard. Don't think about it too hard. Oh, did I just accidentally bop my microphone with my water? My bad. Dude, I swear, since I discovered flavored water that actually tastes good, dehydration is never gonna be a problem again. Okay, and then she's gonna reach out off screen. She's gonna reach out, bring, oh my god. I looked over at chat because it's so close to where Animate is with how I have my monitors laid out. And I saw one that had the word unicorn in it, and I just man. That's crazy. Okay, there's probably gonna be a lot of not exactly layer manipulation, because it's not like the layer is specific. It kind of is, though. It's... okay, this one might take a bit of doing. Okay, I'm just gonna put a keyframe there because I want to have a pose similar enough to this that I can just, like, tweak it a little bit. And this one is gonna be pretty drastically different, so... She's gonna be like leaning all the way off screen, pretty much. Probably gonna have to rely a bit on some distortion, squash and stretch, that kind of thing. One thing I've noticed that I definitely have to teach myself is that sometimes it's okay to break the puppet rigs. Sometimes that's just what you need to do. That feels right enough. There we go. Might even do a little bit of skewing on like her actual body. Okay, if it's only reminding myself it's only a few frames, it's not like the entire shot is gonna look like this. Oh heavens. That's not good. Ah! Okay, there we go. Okay, which parts are messed up? Can't tell if... I'm just gonna... Everything except the hair. And just hope. Oh, that's the wrong one. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna do a little bit of extra, like, out here. Oh, wrong thing. There we go. Okay, what? Where was I? Over here? A little bit of extra.
It's almost like he just wants to put that all apart.
And have it just be no more than 3 frames. I'm not gonna extend it, even if I, like, desperately have to. And there's gonna be other things going on in the scene. Like, the camera's gonna zoom out. Not gonna do that yet, because it'll... I wanna, like, get all the character movement set in stone, and then do the camera, because I don't need more movement muddying up the scene and making me confused. Because I don't know how many of y'all have noticed this yet, but I tend to be a little bit stupid. Dude, this water goes so hard. You connected Patrick with love and he turned into SpongeBob. Okay, that's not really related to much of anything we're talking about, but I'm gonna be the one to say it. I didn't like the Valentine's Day episode. I didn't really like it.
It was stupid.
It was stupid.
SpongeBob.
Like, he destroys the entire town over not getting a Valentine from SpongeBob specifically. And then he finally died. He's like, oh, you didn't need to get me anything. Shut up. That's not my Patrick. That right there is like season 6 Patrick. We don't need to be there yet. Cat! Come here. Come here. Come say hello. Come here. Come here.
Meow.
You want me to pick you up? There we go. I forgot he was in Word Girl. I forgot about that entirely. Dude, Tom Kenny's been everywhere. At this point, if there's some animated series, Tom Kenny's probably been in it at some point.
Has he been in Technologica?
You know, I was just thinking that exact same thing. Okay, here's one thing that has been in the back of my mind. What is a staple of a 2010s cartoon? What do they all have in common? Weird Al has been in there at one point or another. Like, I guarantee if you look up Weird Al, half the results are gonna be a cartoon he was in from the 2000s up until, like, I don't know, 2016, 2017. So, I have a proposition for my Technologica fans out there. Even if it's just one episode. Dude, did y'all see the Instagram post he made with a picture from the last episode of My Little Pony with Pinky and Cheese and their kid? Weird Al is so insanely funny. Oh my god. I aspire to be that way someday. Okay, what? Okay.
Oddly enough, I don't think he was ever on Yo Gabba Gabba.
Yes, he was.
He was?
Weird Al was in Yo Gabba Gabba.
Okay. I know he wasn't in Franklin.
I don't think he was in Franklin. Ayo, ayo, ayo. There's a message we pin. Wander over yonder reference. That's the one. That's the pin.
Was he in Dora?
I don't know. Dora went on longer after I stopped watching it.
Yeah.
Like, they were... I remember... was it LeBron or was it Shaq?
LeBron was in it.
It was LeBron, okay.
And also Johnny Weir.
That's right.
Yeah. Shakira, whatever her name was.
Shakira?
Yeah.
Was she in Dora?
Yeah.
Who?
I think she played herself.
Really? I do not remember
Either
this.
She played herself or she played a mermaid. I believe. But yeah, that's the Latin singer, right?
Huh?
That's the Latin singer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. She was in there. I don't remember who she played, but yeah.
Huh.
Somebody else, another girl was in there too. I can take a picture, but I can't think of her name. I'm not good with names.
No, the LeBron was so funny though, cause it was like 2 minutes of screen time, and it was just out of nowhere with zero lead up. I'm like 99% sure he was some kind of giant too.
Yeah. Well, there's that.
How tall is LeBron? Let's do a bit of research.
3.5 doors.
He's 6'9". Nice. I'm sorry, that was immature. I apologize. Shaquille is 7'1"? Ain't no way. That's news to me. Oh my, how many kids does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? My god. Shaquille O'Neal cannot be a real person. There is no way he is 7'1" and has 6 kids. Shoe size 22! Apparently he's only had one wife, too, up until 2011. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean he didn't still have more children, though. He had 4 of them with the same wife. 6 kids is crazy, though. Oh my god. That's the kind of family that watches The Loud House and calls it representation. There are so many people. How old are his kids? His youngest is 17 and his oldest is 27. There is a 10-year gap between 2 of his children. Oh my god. Oh, I cannot imagine even having 3 kids, though. I can't even imagine having 1. I barely take care of myself. That's insane. I have to be impressed. Like, pop off, King. Okay, wait. He is 51. Okay, he was born in 72. His oldest was born in 96. And the second oldest was in 97, so this had to have been the plan from the start. Like, he had to have been thinking, yeah, I want a ton of kids. I mean, more power to him. Mad respect.
How tall are they?
Oh, that's a good question. One of his kids, one of his daughters, is 6'4" at 15.
Oh, she's short.
Insane. His oldest son is 7 feet tall. How tall was his wife? She's 5'7". Everybody in this house, or everybody in that family, is above average. There's an and then there were none game. That's a thing. Cause I read the book and I thought it was pretty good. Like, it's not the kind of thing, like, I would pick up and be like, yeah, I highly recommend this, but, like, when I read it, I enjoyed it. Could have fooled me. I didn't know there was an and then they were none game. I had no idea there were Agatha Christie video games. That's a new one on me. Anyways. I've learned so much today. I'm not even, like, into sports, but I've learned more today about Shaquille O'Neal and his family than I think I've learned about anything ever. You have to go through 4 different endings in order to get the ending that's actually from the book. I'm not playing that. Like, no hate, but I'm not playing that. I'm actually gonna bring her over a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna come clean. I haven't read that book in like 5 years at least. I think it's been like 5 or 6 years since I last read that book. I just remember like not viscerally hating it, so it's gotta be okay. I feel like that's a little bit too. Bring these down a little bit. Oh heavens, what did I do? There we go. That works.
Yeah, probably.
Let me go ahead and do the hair. Actually, no, I'm gonna save the hair for last.
So they push an update to all the servers at once.
Bonk. There we go. Nah, not there. How does that look? Maybe one later?
So they don't push it just
No, that feels a little bit too perfect. Like, I want it to feel real, but not quite that real. Or I want it to be, like, on time, but not quite that on time, because then it doesn't feel real. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna have to think about... Okay, a lot of timing that's gonna come into play. Especially with Nicole. Because she's coming halfway through the scene. So I can't rely on frame numbers. I'm gonna... Oh, am I gonna have to actually do math? No, because I don't want to do math. I'm gonna eyeball it. Gen Alpha parenting hack. Less iPads, because then they can learn how to read. I'm not dunking on the kids. I'm dunking on their parents. Y'all need to stop. If there's any Gen Alpha parents in chat, stop giving your kids iPads. It's too soon. If your kid's scared of the shot, tell the kid it's skibbies. The kid won't scream. I hate that it would probably work too. I hate that it would probably actually work. You know, I don't think extinction is out of the question. I'm just gonna put that out there. This is probably gonna be one of those shots where I just kind of have to hope people aren't paying too much attention to the mouth at this exact second. I'm gonna have to go through and sync this entire thing. Am I? Actually, no, I'm not. I can figure out how to do that later. So I'm not gonna waste time doing it now, because it's boring. That's not terrible. I can make it work. I'm just gonna say that every time I... This is a safe-spaced event about Wii games, especially on the Wii U. I think I only ever actually played with the Wii U, like, once. Once in my life.
Wii U, Wii U, Wii U.
Thank you for the contribution, Father. That is so cool. I love that for you. You said Wii games. You know what that reminded me of? Okay, so... Story time. Story time. Okay. You know what, this is a... We changed to the just chatting layout instead of the animation layout. Because, okay... If y'all... I'm not gonna say, hey, go check out my second channel, because it's not, like, bad, but it's made for a slightly older crowd than, like, this Technologica channel. Every once in a while I say an uh-oh word. Not, like, the kind of thing they would bleep out on TV yet. But, like, it's a standard YouTube channel, PG-13 type stuff. But okay, y'all that keep up with the second channel, y'all saw the one video that I thought I was gonna actually do something with and still haven't made a sequel to, where I was playing the first, like the original first Rayman game, but the PC port, which is even worse, because the music is entirely broken on it, and there's no cutscenes, so there's no story either. I paid $5 for that, by the way. Y'all that are okay with me being a bit more colorful on stream, or not on stream, but in videos, y'all better appreciate that. But you know what? As much as it made me angry, I quite enjoyed it. So there was one day, I got a little notification, one of those email things they send out, because when I bought it, they needed my email. It was like, hey, there's a sale going on. And I was like, that's interesting, because the only other thing I have on my list of games to play is the rest of the series. And it's like, hey, stuff from your list is on sale. So I look, and it's like 85% off, where in total, it was like a little over $1 per game for the second and third, and I think Origins. In total, it was like $6 to get all of them. And this was like January, I think. It was like mid-January, if I remember right. So I was like, that's insane! I'm gonna go ahead and get them now while they're on sale, so then I can do like a playthrough of like the entire series. It's gonna take forever, but it'll be like, if I have nothing else to do, it'll be a thing for me to be working on just for fun. Last night, so the only other game in the series is Legends. It wasn't on sale yet. Don't really know what that was about, I don't know. Ubisoft is great at making choices. So last night, I get an email that another game on my list is now on sale. And I'm like, the only other game on my list is the only other game in the series, because I'm not a gamer, so I play like 2 things. This happens to be the 3rd game I have ever played. That's barely an exaggeration. And so I'm like, okay, is it gonna be like another kind of thing? And I look, it's 80% off. This $30 game is now like $5. So like, if y'all want an entire playthrough of like the whole series, go give that video some love, cause like, for less than $20, I got the entire series, bro. We can make it happen. I don't know if that's a sign of good things to come or a move of desperation. But you know what? It don't matter. In total, I think for the entire, I'm talking like 1 through 3 and the other two ones, the last two ones I actually had on console, I think in total it was like between $15 and $18 for 5 games that on their own would have been like 20 or 30 bucks. Like that, this is the same kind of victorious feeling I felt when I saw that Sims 3 deal. Where you can get that one bundle for like 15 bucks. That includes the game in 2 packs. It's the same kind of feeling of like, yeah, stick it to the man. I'm getting away with something, even though it's literally just a sale that I'm certain there's some reason behind it. But like the feeling of power, I feel so good about myself. Like I don't know if y'all are old enough to truly appreciate how much money I've saved. Cool animations, thank you. Let me get back to actually doing that now instead of sounding a lot older than I am, ranting about how much money I've saved. You know what sucks is this morning I was even thinking about being excited for the summer because I want to redo the bathroom. I was like, dude, it's gonna be so fun. I'm gonna make it look so good. And I realized, oh, that's not something a Gen Z would say. You think I Spy Spooky Mansion is the best game and you hate it so much. Oh, is it literally just a bunch of fetch quests? Oh, I hate games like that so much. No, I'm gonna keep it so real. If it's literally just fetch quests, is it worth it? When you can play Wizard 101 for free and get essentially the exact same thing. Like, I love my wizards, but like, I'm gonna throw a bit of shade. No, that's one thing that drives me crazy, when you actually spend money on the game. Or if it comes with the console, you still buy the console. So, no matter what you do, there's some kind of money going out. And it's literally just a bunch of fetch quests. Oh, it's one of the first games you ever played? I promise you there's a bit of nostalgia clouding your vision there, because do the exact same thing 3 times, and then the game's over? Come on. Come on. Let's think about that a little bit harder. You're sitting there drooling on a Wiimote. Huh, what is happening there? Why is her face doing that? Ooh, that feels way too soon. There we go. That feels nice. I like that. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. There we go. A little bit of frame manipulation never hurt nobody. What do I animate on? I'm using Adobe Animate. I'm one of those. I'm one of the YouTubers that likes to pretend I'm playing with the big boys. I don't actually know much about the, like, entry-level free options. I started messing around with, like, Scratch and PowerPoint in, like, 2013. Oh, yeah, I remember the good old days when your teacher was like, okay, y'all can bring in your little devices and listen to music while you work today. Dude. That takes me so back. Okay, that seems a little bit too quick, actually. Whoops. She wasn't expecting you to bust out a DVD player and a CD. I mean, yeah. Could y'all hear the sound of the water cooler? What is that called?
It's a water cooler.
Water cooler? It doesn't really do much cooling.
We don't have it plugged in. If it plugs in, it would.
Is it really called a water cooler?
Yeah. And also, this one also heats water too.
Yeah. I don't even know if this function's working anymore. I've never.
Guys, I might be dumb. I literally didn't know it was called a water cooler. I hate to admit I've gone like 90% of my life calling it a dispenser.
Well, it is also water dispenser.
Or a fountain or something like that.
Office environment, they always talking standing at a water cooler, talking.
Ooh, Milky Ways are good. I like Milky Ways. The software this is Adobe Animate. My heavens, I cannot click on things, can I? And now y'all get the delightful rustling of a bag of chips. Could you have, like, stayed in the kitchen to open it?
I hadn't opened it yet.
This is the most unprofessional stream. The stream is so unserious.
It's not like I burped or farted or anything.
Timeline looks like After Effects. Yeah, it's the same company. They're both Adobe. Well, I mean, the history of Animate is very muddy, but for what I'm using, they're both Adobe products. My favorite NFL team? I only watched the Super Bowl because SpongeBob was in it. I don't know anything about sports. I like cartoons, not football. Dude, the Nickelodeon Super Bowl was fire. Oh my god. Tom Kenny and Bill Fagerbaki carried. Their back and forths were so good. It's still picked up on the mic, so I don't really think it matters. You know what? Actually going through and animating that was just a waste of time. Okay, now it feels behind. What in the world? It's this frame. I guarantee it. Oh, look at that! I was right about something. Enjoy this moment while it lasts. I was actually right about something. I think the most intense dentist experience I ever had was getting multiple teeth pulled at once. I still think about that a lot. Have y'all heard of hyperdontia? It's when you have extra teeth. And I remember that day when I had to go to the... When was that? It was 2016? It was quite a bit ago. But went to the dentist because I had a loose tooth that just straight up... Was that why we went, or was it just like an annual checkup and they just happened to find it?
I think you went because your teeth were
Because they
coming out
weren't...
wrong.
Because the baby teeth weren't coming out.
Yeah.
And what happened was my baby teeth weren't coming out, but for one of them, the grown-up tooth was still behind it, like actually growing in, but it ended up growing in really quick. It still is crooked, but like it doesn't really cause any problems, so I won't do anything about it. Like it looks a little bit jank, but so does the rest of me, so it fits right in. So we go and they do an X-ray, and that one just got unlucky, so they just had to pull it out. It was the left canine. Left. Which way does the letter L go? Yes, left. I might be dumb. I might need to get it tattooed. It was the left one that it was just growing in weird just for the sake of it, just to give me a hard time. But the right canine, the issue was behind the baby tooth was yet a second baby tooth, and now it's just really small because it's the second baby tooth. Because he pulled the first one out, so the second one grew in, and above it is still the grown-up tooth. It's just chilling.
You're like a shark.
Yeah, I'm like a shark.
You got rows of teeth now.
Yeah, they say you only get you only get 2 sets of teeth, so make it count. No. That's the sound of my extra tooth. Here, a little sip of black raspberry flavored water ought to set you right. A little sip, I say, as I know gosh darn well I'm about to take a massive swig that could shame a pirate. There is a third of this left, and I started it at the beginning of the stream. I drink so much water, you guys. I'm so healthy. But yeah, there was just a second baby tooth just chilling. They also were like, I think that was the same day, they were like, yeah, you probably don't need to get your wisdom teeth out unless it causes problems later. They're fully grown in, too. They're just in the back hanging out. I got room for them. So, like, not really much point getting rid of them if I don't have to, right? I'm gonna wait until there's actually a reason. There probably will be later. Like, I have no doubt, I don't know, maybe late 20s, early 30s, something's gonna happen and I'm gonna have to get them yanked out. But, I mean, I'm chilling. I'm hanging. They say a school experience is having to go to school after getting your wisdom teeth out. No. That's not a thing I ever had to go through. I would watch everybody else have to do it, but... Are you a full-time animator, or is it just a hobby? Don't really know how to answer it, because yes, I do it full-time, but I'm not paid. So, it's...
Yeah, you're in school for it, so you know.
I am in school for animation, that's true. That's what I'm in college for, is 3D stuff, because I've been doing 2D for, like more than 10 years at this point. Because I started messing around with, like, Scratch and PowerPoint stuff in 2013, and it is now 2024, and that hurts my brain. I don't like the concept of growing up, actually. Take me back. You're watching it on a PS5. I mean, hey, if it looks nice, it looks nice. I also remember seeing a picture or video or something of somebody watching the pilot on a DS. I was like, I mean, hey. As God intended. I don't know if it was a 3DS or a DSi. I don't remember. But somebody had a Nintendo DS and was just watching the pilot on it. Not really sure how they managed to pull that one out because PS5 Slim? Oh, the one that looks like... Not the one that looks like a mini fridge. Nah, that joke was funny for like a month and then it got boring. Heavens, I bonked my knee in the desk. There we go. She's gonna be actually looking. The Xbox is the mini fridge one. How are people watching it like on their DS and 3DS? Like, those have long since been discontinued, and they've also shut down both the stores, right? Like, that's been a thing. So, like, how are people... Like, I can barely get the browser on mine to work. How? How are y'all doing it? Does it have to be the 3DS? Does it not work on DSi anymore? Unfortunate. There we go. I'm probably gonna have to... I don't think I'm gonna animate this one all... I'm gonna pretend I animated it all the way just so I know where to put, like, her line of sight. As I do that, I hear from the other room, that's just creepy looking. I've done it in literally every stream where a character has to blink.
I know, but it's every time it's
You know what? Some people just don't have what it takes to be an animator. You just don't have the guts. See, and it looks perfectly normal and fine. Why don't you make a course for Udemy or something? Ooh, that'd be smart. I could do, like, little tutorials. It's not animation, but I also have an album open for pre-order. It's only $1. I will grab it and post a link. And if you pre-order it, you get one song included with it. In fact, I hate to do this, but I'm gonna have to replace the pinned message with that one. Just so it doesn't get drowned out. Okay, this is where it's gonna be. Okay. Gonna have to go through and fix her hair up because it's always parted on the same way because I like consistency. Could make a community or school. I could. Preferably, I'd want to do the kind of thing where I could, like, record it in advance and then just you get access to it if you sign up for it. Because doing like a live course just isn't the kind of thing I have time for. I'm gonna have to do something about her hair. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out a much easier way to do this. But it works for now. She's actually smiling for once. Whoa, get the camera. Dude, I hate how that looks. That looks terrible, actually. I'm just gonna, like, really push the hair and just kind of hope. There we go. It's probably fine, right? Y'all know what my motto is? It's fine enough. Okay, let's see about getting their hands lined up, because Erin's like pulling her into the frame by her hands. Yikes. Erin's gonna punch Nicole because Erin drank evil juice. Okay, I'm just gonna have to make another. I think I've already made a couple of community posts answering this, but I feel like I'm probably just gonna have to make another one. There's an updates one where you get updates. I post, hey, new video. The live stream is starting. Trying to experiment with, you can ask one question. But like, if you want an actual community, I'm not running anything like that. Did y'all hear that? I just popped both my elbows. You have a Papa's Infectoria theory? I still need to do chapter 3. Like, I think y'all can pretty obviously tell it's on the back burner. And I think most of us understand why it's on the back burner. But I still do want to actually put out chapter 3 at some point soon. There we go. There you go. She's not like stumbling in, but like she's getting yanked pretty quickly. It's all part of animation, just kind of hoping. Okay, what did I use for this one? That one. Oh, that's right. I did that. There we go. There we go. I think I can safely zoom out now because all I'm going to be doing is just like some tweaks. Just some like getting in there and fixing the details up. There we go. Have it separate enough so that like you can tell the camera is moving so the characters just aren't randomly shrinking, but not so much that it feels timed wrong. That feels pretty good. I'm gonna use the same little trick I used to cheat the theme song a little bit. A little bit of extra, not like residual, but like still a little extra bit of motion at the end there. So that way it doesn't, it's not just like multiple frames of the same weird, this looks wrong in a row. Oops, didn't want to grab the timeline and move it around. There we go. Add a little bit of like extra at the end of here too, because I'd imagine there'd probably be a little bit of like, oh, I can't think of what the actual word for it is. Pow. Not anticipation, but like bounce. Probably gonna have to exaggerate it just a little bit more because you can't actually see there's anything happening. It's not terrible. A pretty heated beatbox battle with your dog. My money's on the dog. I'm sorry, that was mean. I apologize. Add a little bit of like extra something with her hair because she's got a lot of it, so naturally it would be moving. How dare I completely forgot to add more frames. Insane. What am I on? 8? Hope nobody plays bets on the battle? No. Nobody. Where gives you that idea? You know what? I'm okay with her bangs and the rest of her hair not lining up the exact same. Eh. You know lying gets you on the naughty list? Yeah, I'm not a liar. I'm a good noodle. I got stickers on the good noodle board. Here, let me show you. I got good noodle stickers. See, look, I'm a good noodle. How long does it take to animate a 10-second scene? Well, this one is 4 seconds, and it has been an hour and a half. So... it's a bit. It takes a bit. There. The layer's even called I'm a good noodle. So it's gotta be true. I'm not even gonna set it to be a guide layer. It's gonna be like off screen, you won't be able to see it, but just know, in this 4-second clip, I'm a good noodle. It's there. It's there, and anybody who sees this stream is gonna know that it's there. Because I am a good noodle. Nah, I don't like how that looks, so I'm gonna change it. Yay! Yeah, that looks better. Care explain? Not really. fess up now, you won't get in trouble. I can't get in trouble, actually. I'm a good noodle. It says right there. I'm a good noodle. Because I make you cartoons for free. I'm a pretty good noodle. How many people make cartoons for free? What happened to the eagle I was holding hostage last stream? Y'all gonna have to ask Scamper about that. Get some movement with her bangs in here. I'm gonna have to really exaggerate this one because it is painfully hard to see. Feels way too quick too. Heavens. I might even little bit of squash and stretch. I'm feeling daring. You really can't even see it, so I just wasted 2 seconds. How dare. I will never get those 2 seconds back. That's like a lot of milliseconds. At least 10. If you're trying. That might be the best way I've ever heard somebody refer to children. Troglodyte is crazy. Oh my god. Yeah, my brain didn't even comprehend the rest of that message. I got fixated on troglodyte because that is wild. That is an insult I've never heard before. That's a new one on me. New Gen Alpha parenting life hack. If your troglodyte is awake for a month straight doing nothing but watching Skibidi toilet videos, tell them that they're going to a Skibidi security center so they get in the car to come with you. I speak English. I don't know what this is. I don't know what that means. But troglodyte was funny. That made me tee-hee. A little bit of a chuckle. A breath escaped my lips. I can't even explain it. Just troglodyte specifically just felt like a punch in the face, but in a good way. Okay, this is gonna be those ones where I'm gonna have to go in and later on add, like, a couple more breakdowns, but... This one isn't gonna be so bad. There's only, like, 1 or 2 extra things I want to add. Do you think Gen Alpha kids can swim in a pool of super glue? From what I've seen, half of them can't even spell super glue. Parents need to stop giving their kids iPads, like, right out the womb. Like, they will go home from the hospital and immediately be like, here's a tablet! Don't do that. Don't be doing that. Like, I make content geared for younger kids online, but that doesn't mean I'm trying to raise them. You know? It is available as an extra fun side thing. I am not the main course. You know? Like, that's something I feel like a lot of Gen Alpha parents need to be reminded of. No, actually, genuinely, I think having something like a 3DS or like one of those, I don't want to say old, but one of those older handheld consoles would be so much smarter because it's. See, I want to be able to say Switch, but it's so easy to download YouTube on it. And again, spend like the entire day just watching YouTube videos. Not what we're trying to do. Not how you raise kids. But yeah, I've seen even other people agree something like a 3DS. Because like you can get to the internet on it, sure. But it takes a bit more doing. Like you'd have to go to the browser and actually go to YouTube as a website. That's true, there are parental controls on the Switch. I've never messed around with those actually. Is there a way you can block certain things from being downloaded so like your kid could download all the games they want but not YouTube specifically? Or set like time limits or something? Or is it like is it similar to parental controls on a cell phone? Which I feel like people need to be reminded of, hey, don't forget to actually turn those on. Okay, I'm gonna tween it, but I'm not gonna add an ease yet. Yeah, the frames are gonna screw me up so bad. Oh my god. You know that excited thing people do when they like lock hands and start bouncing? That's not what's gonna happen, but it's like that's like the pose I'm going for. Like the actual like placement. Oh gracious. That's not good. I will fix it. Okay, yeah, that should look fine. Ooh, yeah. I am liking that. Background character design was fun. I can do more of those if you want in the future. There's a lot of background characters, so there's a bit of content that probably won't dry up ever. Okay, when did I... That frame specifically. This is going to be a bit more difficult because I want her arms to match up with Erin's, but the rest of her isn't going to be doing that little bounce. Are all the characters animals or object-headed ones? It just depends on the character. I really couldn't tell you what like the general thing is because I'm designing them and like writing them the same way I first developed the main characters. Because I don't want it to be the kind of thing where you look at them and think, yeah, that's obviously a background character. Like, I want it to feel more like a real place, you know? Like, yes, the main characters do stand out a bit, but, like, that's mainly just because they get more screen time. So, like, the little extra things about them that are, I guess, main character-ish, those feel more prominent just because you see more of it. I couldn't answer any of that off the top of my head because you gotta remember there's like between 80 or 90 background characters. So like they're obviously not all gonna be in one scene at the same time. So I'm really not worried about not having more than like 10 done. But y'all gotta remember there's a lot. Okay, that looks like it's roughly where I'd wanna... Do I act all the characters? I do. I would have to do some warm-ups to do this character, Nicole, because her voice sits in a very low register, so I'd have to, like, actually do warm-ups to hit it.
But this one, Erin, that one's easy.
Some pretty different, so good job. Thank you!
Much appreciated.
If you want to go back and rewatch from last week, I did almost the entire stream in character voice. That was an adventure.
Imagine having to do this voice for 2 hours straight. It was something.
I was so happy when that stream was over. We had a good time, but I've learned 2 hours of Scamper. That does something to you. That affects you on a whole other kind of level. Picked up a wine glass from the waiter and spat it out in his face. I mean, the main location is a high school, so you're gonna need a pretty good amount. I've already forgotten. Hang on. Because the high school I went to also offered 8th grade, and I don't remember if this school does. It does not. Okay. It's 9th grade through 12th grade, but that's still... You're gonna need some background students. I even came up with emails for everybody. They all have parents too. So I'm gonna save the parents for later. What I'm focusing on now though, what I want to focus on most of all is getting the senior class done because Cass is the main protagonist out of like all the main characters. She's like the top one and she's a senior. So I want to get the seniors and maybe some juniors, but I'm not too worried about underclassmen just yet. Like, that's the kind of thing where, for, like, the big group scenes, like, if there's a school assembly, yes, I will need them. But aside from that, it's the kind of thing where I have them in the event that I need them. But otherwise, they're just kind of taking up space. It's just a pool to pick and choose from. Like, hey, I want to use this one. Hey, I want to use that one. Ooh, yeah, that looks good. Is Melissa Jr.? She's a teacher. All the characters that are actually, like, introduced are school staff, except Cass. She's the only student that's been introduced. Let me see. Who's the youngest that y'all know so far? It might actually be... No, she's... Aside from Cass, who's 14, the youngest is CK at 20. That's actually been introduced. Melissa's the teacher? Yeah, she teaches meteorology. She's 22. Her birthday's in July. Ooh, that'll be fun. I don't do anything for any of the characters' birthdays. It'll just be like a hey. Like a week later, I'll look at the calendar and be like, oh yeah, that was last week. Cass is a senior. Yep. And she's 14. There's questions in there. Questions that she may or may not have the answer to. Ooh. Is that the plot for season 1? That might be the plot for season 1. I also did the MBTI quiz, like actually went in and did the quiz for all the characters. And got their MBTI types. You know, one of the characters that I really didn't think would be an extrovert is an ESTP. She hasn't been introduced yet, but she's very similar to Nicole, who is an INTJ. Aaron is an ENFP. I forgot about that. Guess it's just like a young Sheldon. Y'all want to know how old Scamper is? Y'all ready for this? 467. Scamper might be the oldest. Anytime somebody makes a joke at Zarla like, huh, old, because she's 35, she just points at Scamper. And everybody slowly turns their head like, yeah, that's fair. Okay, I'm gonna give her a little blink. Just so she doesn't look quite so lifeless. Unexcited, sure, but not, like, and completely dead, you know? That is one thing I will say about these characters. As flawed as the puppets are, the blink cycles look fire. Didn't you do the math in that stream? No, I did that weeks ago. We were double checking to see how old Scamper would be in 2024, but like the 467 thing, I did that like 3 weeks ago. Did I goof? I did goof. How did I do that? Because I got rid of frames and did some rearranging, that's what happened. But now I feel like it's still a bit early, so I'm gonna... That's better. I'm also... it's probably stupid tacking this on at the end, but I'm gonna do it anyway. The one comment on the pilot, oh my... Sometimes I scroll through the comments on the pilot because they're really funny. Some of them are. And they also make me feel good about myself. But that one that was like, total drama knockoff. I swear, I made the comment just to sort of like shut down the conversation. Like, I've never even watched that show. I didn't actually mean for it to be like a proper ratio, but it's so funny. Like, how many people do you think can be like, yes, I ratioed somebody in a TikTok comment section over a cartoon designed for 5-year-olds? Like, that's not something that just happens. Okay, let's look at some frames in here. I love this shot. I love this shot. I'm saving this. I'm getting a photo of this because I love everything about how this looks. This is great. This is a solid reaction image, if I do say so myself. Splendid. They have eyes, mouths, legs, and arms. I'm pretty sure Technologica characters do not have noses. And you know, I think, I don't know, I don't watch it. But I see, for some reason, it's one of those things that just clogs up my feed, even though I have no clue what's going on. There's a bunch of stuff that's like that, actually, where if it just happens to be something popular or trendy, it's in my feed, regardless of whether I actually interact with the videos or even care. Remind you of the Powerpuff Girls? Probably because they don't have noses and they have these gigantic eyes and itty bitty necks. But you know what? 90s isn't that. It's 90s, right? Because 90s cartoons and like early 2000s cartoons, they're not the same, but like there's some community in there. A little bit of a surprised face at the start, but then she gets over it. The only characters that have noses are like the actual animal ones. Like the cats have noses and Scamper has a nose. But I think that's it. Three minutes, yep. There we go. She was looking a little bit too upwards. Now I'm gonna have to go through and just do it. Wah wah. How does this look? I feel like the timing is gonna be completely wrong. Actually, no, I was incorrect. That actually looks kind of fire. Oh, they're blinking in sequence, aren't they? Yup. On the dot. Nope. Too robotic. There we go. That's better. Oops. Forgot to... There we go. There we go. I'm happy with how that looks. I'm gonna go ahead and unmute this for y'all so you can take a little peeky peek. Let's see how it turned out. When I finish the lip sync, I feel like that's actually gonna look pretty okay. But that'll be something I do on my own time. And now I'll take the last couple drops, sip of my water. And I will see y'all next week. It's still February next week. Yeah, it's only the 16th. Let me check. Okay, one more February stream on the 23rd, and then after that, March 1st. Woo! So I will see y'all. It's halfway through the song. I'm not sitting through the entire rest of it. I will catch y'all next week. Stay creative. This has been Technologica. I already said I'll see y'all next week, so I don't really know what to say. Bye.